our Parsha, Parshat Bo, one of the makot is makat choshech, or darkness. And Rashi explains this as it wasn't just a darkness that you could see, you could really feel the darkness, and it was as thick as a coin.
The Torah Mima asks, why do we need to give a measure for the darkness? And how do you measure darkness to start with? The other question that the Torah Mima asks is if we assume, as Rashi explains to us, that the darkness was for 7 days or even longer, that means that for a week or even more there was no daytime. HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised already Noach that day and night will not stop from the Mabul onwards. So if we explain that in this time in Egypt there was no day, how can it be that Hashem changed His creation entirely?
So he gives us an answer and says that there was no real darkness outside. The sun was still coming up and down and there was day and night. But there was a blemish over the Mitzrayim's eyes, over here. And the blemish covered the entire eye, and the blemish was as thick as a coin. So that's what Rashi means when he says it was as thick as a coin. And it also explains to us that there was no real darkness. It just looked like it was dark for the Mitzrayim because there was a blemish covering their eyes.
I think that Torah Mima's insight onto the Makkah, the plague of Choshech, teaches us something for our own life. A lot of times we look at the world and we say it is dark out there, things aren't as good as we want, the world is such a difficult place to live in. The Torah Mima is telling us the darkness isn't out there, it's not part of the world, but the darkness is what is covering our own eyes. It's not the way that reality is held, but the way we view reality.
And if we view reality that everything comes from God, then there really is no darkness in reality, and then we could take that blemish off of our eyes. Have a great Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom.